bowl season is here. Are you ready to cash in on what you know? Where you play is as important as what you play. The pros play at mybookie.ag. All the lines, odds, and plays, both college and pro, all at mybookie.ag. Play where you get paid super fast and there's never a hassle. Step up and mybookie.ag will match your deposit with up to a 50% bonus. Use promo code JJ50 to activate the offer. Don't leave the money on the table. mybookie.ag, promo code JJ50, and your first deposit is matched up to 50%. Play where the pros play because they get paid. mybookie.ag.
And now, Jalen and Jacoby on ESPN Radio.
When I pop the trunk, head the dirt. Y'all pop the trunk, I pop the hood.
Now act stupid, I'll pop the trunk. Now give me a boom.
He is Jalen Rose eating Better Made chips.
Dome.
I'm David Jacoby.
And on the cool check-in.
It's Friday. The show's already off the rails. What do we do?
We get the people what they want.
Well, if the people wanted the Morris twins back on the NBA floor, that's what they got tonight. Both Markieff and Marcus Morris returned to NBA action from injuries. Not that big a deal. Why are we starting the show with that? Because the fact that they both returned this evening is proof that you are a witch. Let's listen to some sound from last week or the week before from this show.
Was at the Wizards-Lakers game last night. That's where this came to me. I'm like, don't ask me to spell epiphany, but I got one. I would bet you that when they return, it's going to be at the same time.
How did you know?
There's levels to this.
You're a witch.
There are individuals that may get information from managers or accountants or coaches or unnamed sources. I'm the voice of reason for the players.
That's why you come to Jalen and Jacoby. You get the broken news first.
Now, I could have been at the bottom of the ticker, but I'm not. I'm Tom Brady with the phone.
Mark Stein did a feature for New York Times. Shouts to Stein.
Steinline.
And he did a feature for the Times about Giannis Antetokounmpo. And there was this very interesting quote, which I could talk to you about for hours. He said, this is from Giannis, "I'm a low-profile guy. I don't like all these flashy cities like LA or Miami. I don't know if I could be the same player if I played in those cities." What is Giannis getting at with that?
He has a terrific sense of self and maturity that I admire so much beyond basketball. I know he's playing with a heavy heart because he tragically lost his dad. He's playing terrific so far this year. He's, along with LeBron James, to me, are going to be the guys that we talk about legitimately MVP for this league this season. What he's referring to is, I'm focused on being the best basketball player I can be.
Not a lot of distractions in Milwaukee.
And the way you eliminate distractions is by focusing on your craft. And a lot of times, people do things that aren't really their character. They're just doing them because they're followers. And so, hey, everybody's out. They want to drink shots of tequila. You might not even want that, but you're doing it because everybody else is doing it. And a level of self-worth that he has, that he's like, that's too bright, it's too flashy, it's too much temptation. He's not trying to date a Kardashian or a Jenner. He's trying to be a great basketball player. He's not trying to be at Live till 5 in the morning on a banana boat the next morning with the same clothes on they had on last night. Like, he's focused on his craft, and I appreciate that.
Do you think that is a function of who he truly is and this is what he truly feels? Or is that a function of because he lives in Milwaukee, he's not trying to go out?
Well, he's a max player, so he could have chosen to play anywhere when you're as talented as he is. He didn't have to opt back in. So when he decided that he wanted to play there and get $100 million, and by the way, that was a discount. Why don't we only talk about players' salaries and if they're overrated, if they're overpaid in NBA and NFL? Like, this dude should be making a blank check. That's how good he is, and I appreciate his maturity. And I love on the court, even though he's not a three-point shooter, never settles. For anybody that plays basketball, you know what I mean. When you guard somebody and you know that they're faster than you, they're more athletic than you, they can take you to the hole anytime they want, and they pull up for a jumper, you're like, thank you.
Here's the thing about Giannis is I'm the opposite of him. I can only live in flashy cities like Los Angeles, New York, and Miami. Like, those are the only places that are available to me.
Where'd you go to college?
In New York University.
Where do you live now?
Los Angeles. But we do have one thing in common. Look at this tweet. He's a simple guy. I just taste for the first time a smoothie. Man, God bless America. I love smoothies. You know that about me. I drink at least one smoothie a day. I love Giannis Antetokounmpo so much because we have that in common. But you will not find me living in Milwaukee. Shout out to Milwaukee, though.
Team futuristic.
So in Cleveland, just outside of Milwaukee, there's Dwayne Wade.
Both in the Midwest.
He plays in some flashy cities like Chicago, Miami. And now he's in Cleveland. And things aren't going well in Cleveland. And from this video that he uploaded to Uninterrupted, seems like he's really going through it. Let's check in with Dwayne Wade before bed.
I'm here to help this team in whatever capacity I can, from a veteran standpoint, from a second unit standpoint. The 20 points a game ain't going to happen. I came here to the Cavs to be a part of the solution and not a part of the problem. So we're trying to figure it out as a team. I'm trying to figure it out as an individual, and it will get better.
Can I just say, as a television producer, that is terribly shot.
Never shoot up.
What are you doing? He's got the phone at his chin. Like, is he holding it with his chin? It's shooting right up at him. He's lying down.
I'm going to
face all fat.
I'm going to tell you what it is.
He's going through it.
LeBron James, part owner of Uninterrupted.
Duh.
Dwayne Wade was responsible for delivering some content. Mm-hmm. Some producers blowing him up. Like, yo, we need that video to post.
You said you were going to do that.
We need that video
We signed a contract. You said you were going to do one a week. It's been 3 weeks. You've done 0.
And he's like, all right, I'm about to do it right now.
So he's just lying in bed like that. I think everything is calculated. You know what I mean? It's not, he didn't just say, oh, I really want to speak to the fans right now. He knows what it looks like when he does it in bed, when he's lying there. He knows it looks like he's just this tortured soul that can't sleep because the Cavs are losing. He knows what he's doing. He knows what it looks like. Like, none of this is spontaneous at all.
He's a part of a power couple, and he gets to play with LeBron. And he gets to hoop with LeBron James. He ain't tripping.
Yeah, he's not. But you know what? So he was in bed getting his rest, but not everybody on the Cavs is getting some good rest. Let's check in with the head coach, Tyler.
How much time are you spending away from the court, thinking? Are you always constantly thinking, how am I going to put these lineups together?
Look at me. I ain't slept in days.
He looks pretty good to me. Like, check in on Jeff Van Gundy when he was with the Knicks. You know what I mean? Like Ty Lue's like, look at me. I'm so ragged. Like, it seems like he just came from the spa, coach. What do you think is really going on?
He understands what I mentioned. The issues that their squad has, they're not going to change much. They're going to be more talented than their opponents. They have LeBron James and Kevin Love, and they're a basic super team. But the obvious, when they play against the best teams in particular, you're going to miss Isaiah Thomas. I think people forgot how good he really is at basketball.
They haven't seen him play basketball for a while.
And so you lose Kyrie's 25, there's going to be a big adjustment
Isaiah's
as it relates to getting
defense.
Points on the board, though. See, he's herky-jerky. He can shoot the 3. When he breaks down the defense, now all of a sudden it collapses, and it makes other people around him better.
And if you remember last year, I think one key to their sort of ultimate failure in the finals was not having Andrew Bogut, because they added Bogut. They added Darren Williams. And if you look at their roster and their salary structure now, there's not going to be any of those guys coming this year. This is their team.
And the thing is, they're going to miss Tristan Thompson for this next month. His rebound and his rim protection. And starting Kevin Love at center with LeBron and Crowder, they're just too short when they go against some of the bigger, more versatile guys in the league.
Bowl season is here. Are you ready to cash in on what you know? Where you play is as important as what you play. The pros play at mybookie.ag. All the lines, odds, and plays, both college and pro, all at mybookie.ag. Play where you get paid super fast and there's never a hassle. Step up and mybookie.ag will match your deposit with up to a 50% bonus. Use promo code JJ50 to activate the offer. Don't leave the money on the table. Mybookie.ag, promo code JJ50, and your first deposit is matched up to 50%. Play where the pros play because they get paid. MyBookie.ag.
Right now, we're going to be looking ahead at this weekend in the National Football League. Some big games on Sunday, but before we get to those, we have to acknowledge the tragedy that is Deshaun Watson going down in a non-contact injury in practice. So depressing. He was such an exciting young player to watch. I paid more attention to Texans games this year when he was on the field because he was on the field. And now I'm going to have to not look at that one screen at the bar that I go to that heavily anymore. Jim, let's acknowledge some of the other injuries that has happened. In this there are always injuries over the course of a season in all sports, but this year in the NFL seems to be particularly devastating.
Absolutely. And notable players, franchise-changing players, season-altering injuries. When Aaron Rodgers goes down, you know that their season over.
Yes. When you said the Lions were going to win the conference, it sounded crazy. And then when Aaron Rodgers went down, it didn't sound so crazy. And then I watched the Lions play the last 3 weeks, and it's back to sounding crazy again.
And a lot of guys that have become faces of the league, whether commercial, promotion, marketing, advertising, like J.J. Watt, Odell Beckham.
Odell Beckham is I'm going to say the most recognizable player in the NFL because he's got blonde hair, but he's out there.
And also, look at the Patriots. They won a Super Bowl last year. They're without Julian Edelman. Mm-hmm. Here's a guy that catches between 75 and 100 balls each year for Tom Brady. Greg Olsen's coming back for the Panthers. But how about this? The Kansas City Chiefs are playing without Eric Berry. He's arguably the best safety in the league.
And it feels like forever ago because it was a couple months ago, but J.J. Watt was such a big piece of the relief in Houston, and there was just so much positivity around him and his comeback and the team, and then it was a prime-time game. I believe it was a Sunday night game or Monday night game. He goes down right there on their home field.
And how about David Johnson? He went number one in a lot of people's fantasy leagues.
There are a lot of fantasy implications to all of this.
No question about it.
A lot of fantasy implications to all of this.
Deshaun Watson, he's the only player in the history of the league to throw for 400 yards, rush for 50, and throw 4 touchdowns in a game. Never done. He's the only one to do it.
And did it in his 7th game. Well, we wish them all healthy recoveries.
Jason Peters, again for Philly. He keeps his beard sharp.
Let's take a look at some of these games coming up. We'll go through them quickly, Jalen Rose.
Joe Thomas. How about this? He had a snaps record that he hadn't missed a snap in 10 years.
It was something that the 1,400 snaps.
And let me say that again. I didn't say he hadn't missed a game.
Missed a snap.
Haven't missed a snap. Okay, just think about this. You might miss a snap just because one time your shoe's untied.
If I was an NFL player, which I'm not, I would just run over to the sidelines just to get a breather once in a while.
Absolutely.
Like, this is a pass play. Like, I'll just run over there real quick.
Especially some of the quarterbacks he's had to protect.
Yeah, yeah. It's not like they're in the playoffs in the hunt every year either. All right, so we're going to go through these quickly. We have the Ravens at the Titans. We'll start with the 1 o'clock games. Titans are favored because they're home. This is one of those teams. Neither one of these teams is making the playoffs.
Joe Flacco was dealing with a concussion last week, practiced this week, should be healthy and ready to go. But I want to see if Mariota can continue to evolve as a quarterback. We talked about he and Jameis when they both came in, and they're going to be compared because they went in the same class. But as a QB that also is a dual threat to run the ball, I want to see if he's going to continue to take that leap.
You remember the Saints?
Go marching in.
Early on in the year, it was, are we going to replace Drew Brees? Should they fire Sean Payton? All of a sudden, you look up, and the Saints are 5-2, and they are hosting the Buccaneers, who a lot of people predicted to be a breakout team. The Buccaneers, they're going to win the division this year. But guess what? The Saints are 5-2. The Buccaneers are 2-5.
This is what I know about Drew Brees. When Jimmy Graham and who they got for the Patriots?
Cooks.
When Jimmy Graham and Cooks left, they ain't look as good.
But now they're 5-2.
Big shout to Mark Ingram. He was dealing with a crowded backfield earlier in the season that included Adrian Peterson. And all of a sudden, they cleared the way. He's putting up 100-yard rushing games. They're now 5-2. And Tampa was one of those squads that everybody was ready to jump on the bandwagon. People try to find what's next. They're 2-5 at this point of the year.
The Rams fly across the country into New York to play the Giants. The Giants are 1-6. Rams are 5-2.
Not a happy home when the Giants are 1-6.
I think they could beat the Rams. I think they could. I love the Rams. I'm a bandwagon Rams fan, because I love Gurley. I love Goff. I love Cooper Kupp. You know what I mean? I love all that. But
you love their names.
Yeah, Cooper. Cooper Jacoby doesn't work, though.
Let's go, Eli. I need you to substitute for fantasy this weekend.
Next, we have the Broncos going into Philly and playing the league's best record, the 7-1 Eagles.
Just added Jay Ajayi to go in the backfield with LeGarrette Blount. Philadelphia's not playing around.
Falcons at the Panthers in a game which feels like it's going to send one of these teams in the right direction and one of these teams in the wrong direction.
The Falcons and the Panthers both have something in common. They recently lost the Super Bowl. One had a hangover. This will be a game to see if the Falcons are going to go in that direction or they're going to continue to play like a team that many people felt had what it took to still win the NFC this year.
And the Falcons could be 4-4 after this week. That's surprising. And they played the Jets. They beat the Jets, but it was kind of like, wait, what's the score? It's like, I know it was rainy and everything, but it was like, I was looking over at that TV, like, what's the score?
Speaking of the Jets, I have to say this. Todd Bowles is a really good football coach. Mm-hmm. Look at it like this. When you're the Cleveland Browns, for example, you're drafting number 1, top 10 consistently. You have a stockpile of talent. They had the number 1 pick this past year. He's injured. They have more talent than the Jets. Look at how well the Jets play. I give him so much credit. If you walk down the street and ask the average football fan, hey, who played wide receiver yesterday for the Jets?
Oh, I've no idea who the receivers are for the Jets. Wayne Corbett.
Keyshawn was jealous of him.
We have the that's funny. We have the Bengals at the Jaguars.
The Jaguars. How about this? A welcome addition on the defensive line via trade from the Buffalo Bills. Now, a team that led the league in sacks already just got stronger. The Bengals, one of those squads that never play up to expectation.
Can't figure it out. I love Jalen Ramsey. Not just because his name is Jalen, but Jalen Ramsey is so much fun to watch. He is so much fun to watch. I love a dominant member of the secondary. That's just like dominant all over the ball, running plays, in on tackles, passing plays deep, knocking balls down, not even throwing to his side. I love Jalen Ramsey.
I might have to get his jersey.
I've never seen you wear a jersey in my life. Have you ever worn? You wear jerseys casually? No, you don't. Yeah, me neither. You never just go to a bar wearing a jersey? What if it's a Lions jersey? Would you go to a Lions game wearing a jersey?
But I wear, think about it, I wear like the shirts.
Like the
with
T-shirt
the name
jersey?
And the number on it. I just had on a Barry Sanders.
Really? Colts coming into Houston to play Tom Savage and the Texans.
Jacoby
against 21 Savage.
Here's what I got to say about this game. Happy birthday, Colin Kaepernick.
Shout out.
He can't get a job in the NFL? All these guys getting hurt. Hold on.
I can't wait until this court case where they're going to play game film of Tom Savage. You know what I mean? There's going to be a lawyer being like, look at this read. Look at this. They're clearly in man. Look at this read. It's going to be in court. It's just, it's going to be a difficult one for him to win. But I just love the idea that that's what's going to be happening in a court of law.
That was hilarious. And I hope so many people laugh with you. And you're 1,000% right. That's exactly how that's going to go down, too. When you talk about collusion, you start pulling people out of the stands to play in front of this guy. Rodgers, Luck, Watson, Tannehill, Bradford, Carson Palmer, all injured. It's 32 teams.
All those people's rosters, they all need to be replaced on the roster.
And every team has, except the Patriots, has a starter and a backup. How about that?
Patriots got Hoyer, man. And they got Tom Brady.
Right. And they signed him to a 30-year deal.
3
come on, man. Seriously?
You heard that Jones and McNair and some other owners are going to be deposed as part of this case?
But you can't prove what they were talking about on the phone.
You think Jerry Jones is like, a lawsuit? He's like, this is what I do. I'm a billionaire. I got businesses on businesses. I got lawyers that look at my other lawyers. Like, this is a lawsuit, depose, no problem. He's got so many burner accounts, burner phones, and this and that. He'll hand over whatever he wants to hand over. I can't wait till I'm a billionaire, Jalen.
You coming.
And I got lawyers on top of lawyers. Cardinals at the 49ers. The 49ers have not won a game. Who was their quarterback last year?
Colin Kaepernick.
How many games have they won this year?
None.
Okay.
So I guess it wasn't him.
I guess
Happy
not.
birthday, Colin.
The Cardinals lost Carson Palmer.
They did.
The 49ers
and David Johnson
lost every single game they played. This game just lost a spot in the national attention.
And Jimmy Garoppolo won't be ready to go.
No.
Garcon is out for the 49ers as well.
Mm-hmm. So then
watch for Hyde. He's going to run the ball. He's 30 carries.
They don't have a lot of weapons, the 49ers. It's sort of like the Jets wide receiving crew we were talking about earlier. Like, I can't name a lot of 49er receivers. You know? I can't.
They got Colin.
The Redskins going into Seattle to play the Seahawks. This is interesting. Redskins are 3-4. The Seahawks are 5-2. The Seahawks are favored by 7.5 points. I think it could be closer.
Elephant in the room. Washington's big offseason signing, Terrell Pryor, has to prove that he's a number one receiver.
He's not. He is not.
I haven't seen anybody on the airwaves say that. So
you know what I haven't heard? Whose name I haven't heard a lot of? Kirk Cousins. Kirk Cousins was just around. He was big comebacks and saying things into microphones and being interesting. And of the offseason, remember, all offseason was like Kirk Cousins' summer.
Because I have my guys in football too. Terrell Pryor's one of my guys. Swiss Army knife, lining up behind center, played quarterback in college.
He looked great against Michigan in college.
Line him up in the slot, line him up at receiver, return game. Show me something, young fella. I want to see it.
Then we have, I'm going to say, the best game of the weekend. The Chiefs at 6-2, coming into Jerry's house to play the Cowboys, who just received word that Ezekiel Elliott is available to play.
Jalen versus everybody, we use that line because my son wanted to get some bread. He wanted to get the Ezekiel bread, the Bible bread.
This game, guys, do a quick tangent on the Ezekiel Elliott stuff. I've stopped paying attention. Like, after Deflategate, when they had all these updates, now it's going to this level of court. Now the NFL is filing a junction, and the NFLPA is refiling an appeal to this. Like, it just all ends up like sounding like a different language to me. It's just like, can he play or not? Can we figure this out?
It was figured out at the beginning of the year. Everybody realized ultimately he's going to do exactly what Tom Brady did, and then miss the first 6 games next year.
Yeah, it feels like something like that. But you shouldn't be in the way that this works. I understand it is broken, but you shouldn't be finding out on Thursday or Friday that you're available to play on Sunday. He wasn't practicing. Like, there are health implications to that. I mean, I don't want to like blow it out and make it seem like it's too much of a big deal. But listen, if you're an NFL football player, every day of the week is important to you, not just Sunday. You know,
it used to be until they started playing Sunday games and then playing again on Thursday. That changed everything.
Then it was like, listen, I understand that you guys really care about player safety. I get it. I know you care about player safety. I know you're trying to change the rules. You've done all these things to protect the players and all this. But you know what's more important than player safety? What?
Money.
Money is more important than player safety. Oh, wait. If we have a Thursday night game, that means we can charge one network for Sunday night, one network for Monday night, and then we can have another network, or, I don't know, Twitter, pay us for the Thursday night game? No problem. I'm excited for the Chiefs-Cowboys. I still believe in the Cowboys. A lot of people don't believe in the Cowboys. I believe in the Cowboys. I think they're going to not just make the playoffs, but win at least one playoff game.
I'm rolling with that. Dak Prescott's a really good player in his second year. I think while we've talked a lot about Ezekiel and his ability to run the ball, their offensive line has to get a mention here because each week, especially over the past few, his yards before contact increases. So they're pushing people off the ball.
Yeah.
And giving them an opportunity to get second, third level. And at that point, he's hard to bring down.
He can run around you or through you. Quickly, we have the Raiders going into Miami. Shout out to Alex to play the Dolphins. Raiders have been very disappointing this season.
Raiders and Buccaneers were two teams people were ready to leap on their bandwagons to try to say, I told you.
You know,
that they were going to be
which
good.
bandwagon I'm on? Rams, baby. Me and the dude outside the studio.
It's a big game for the
Finally,
Raiders.
the Monday night game.
Come on, Marquette King.
Has the Lions
At
at the Packers.
We about to handle that.
You know who's winning this division?
Don't be crying on our shoulder about injuries.
You know who's winning this division?
We are.
The Vikings. That's who's winning this division. The Vikings have the best team in the division right now, and you know that. Packers aren't going to win it. The Lions aren't going to win it. The Vikings are going to win
saying
it.
that.
Oh, yeah. It's true.
We about to. I hate to see Aaron Rodgers be out, but we about to handle that.
I think you guys are going to win. All right, Jalen. Not everything in the world of sports and pop culture is worth discussing. So what we do is we separate what is worth the time of our listeners and what is not by playing Keep It Moving. If it is worth discussing, you will say hit the brakes, and we will do so and discuss it. If not, me, you, meth, just keep it moving. Gabrielle Union has more information about the banana boat trip.
Hit the brakes.
Oh, okay. I think she's like on a book tour or something. She's been doing a lot of press. She's been popping up. She said that they mounted the banana boat, and it's her spouse, CP3, and then LeBron. And then what happened is the boat took off pulling the banana boat, and they all fell off. Face first. All of their weight. And it was painful. But the paparazzi only got them while they were on the thing.
I'm going to get her book.
Oh, yeah? Have you read your book?
No. I didn't read the Fab Five book either.
When they sent it to you, when they sent you the copy, and they were like, read through this, make sure this is good, did you read the entire thing?
No, because for anybody that's written a book, initially, I'm like, I'm just going to hire a writer and I ain't got to do nothing.
Shout out to Aaron Cohen, my homie.
And then I realized, wait a minute, he can't write a book about me without my help. And it be a best-selling great product.
Can I take you behind the curtain? No. At one point, Aaron Cohen was like, he doesn't really text me back. He's like, I'm supposed to write this book. Like, how do I get him to text back? And I was like, here's Michelle's information.
And then at some point, I was like, I actually have to work. So we got together, multiple sessions, getting pictures, getting stories, trying to get information right. And then the audiobook. I tried to...
So you have read your book, but you got paid to read your book.
I read it while we were writing it. I didn't see the finished product.
No, you didn't sit down with the actual book.
That would be weird.
If I was at the beach and Jalen Rose was next to me reading his own biography with his face on it, I'd be like, this guy's lost his mind.
But the big sacrifice is doing the audiobook. 3 10-hour sessions. I mean, wait. 10 3-hour sessions.
Let's just take the word sacrifice out of there.
I did 10 3-hour.
It's not a sacrifice.
I did 10 3-hour sessions. That's 30 hours of my life.
There's such thing as sacrifice in the world, Jalen Rose. And getting paid to read a book is not sacrifice.
I'm saying for this context. I'm not saying that I was working in
I'm so sorry you had to deal with that adversity. People that listen to the show got real jobs. Sometimes you forget that.
You know what? Here's the thing.
Okay.
If you sit in a coach, just don't come in first class and use the bathroom.
I think about you every time I do it.
Why you doing
every
it?
time I do it. Every time I do it, I'm like, this is perfect. You're funny. Well, Maverick Carter.
I play him this week in fantasy.
Friend of the program. Shout out to Mav. He went on Rich Eisen's show. Not our show. He went on Rich Eisen's show.
What up, though, Rich?
And he had some things to say about the future of LeBron and blah, blah, blah. Keep moving or hit the brakes?
Hit the brakes.
I'm going to keep it moving on that one, kind of.
I got love for both of them, even though I don't care about this story.
Here's the thing, is we talked about this when we prepare for the show, when you're not there. And there's this thing where this was in the rundown eventually at first. And it was like, there's going to be so many updates about where LeBron's going to go. There's going to be so many little he said, she said, or he tweeted, they tweeted. Remember he tweeted Lonzo happy birthday, and all of a sudden it's like, oh, he's going to the Lakers. Oh, his kids are looking at a school in Los Angeles. There's so much of that going on that it just seems like this is just never going to end. And the fact of the matter is, do you know who doesn't know where LeBron's going to play next year?
LeBron.
Do you know who really doesn't know where LeBron's going to play next year? Everybody else, including Matt Carter, who basically just went on the show and was like, guess what? He can play in L.A. or he can play on the moon. It doesn't really matter because you can take meetings from anywhere and you can still be in the Hollywood industry or shoot movies or do whatever you want to do.
See Russell Westbrook playing in OKC.
3 minutes off. Exactly. 3 months off. One of the things that kind of jumped out at me about this was they kept talking about shooting movies. Do you think LeBron really wants to shoot a movie every offseason? Is that something that he really wants to tackle?
If it's going to be Space Jam type budget.
Yeah, there's that. Space Jam maybe, but I saw the movie that he was in with Bill Hader and Amy Schumer. He was good. I'm not saying LeBron's a bad actor. I'm just saying he should focus on basketball.
He's all right, but he's not real.
He's diversifying his portfolio. LeBron James has accomplished while playing more as a mogul than any player in the history of the game.
Oh, yeah. While being an actual... Oh, yeah. Clearly. Next. A Bills rookie did a Star Wars celebration dance. Keep moving, hit the brakes.
Keep it moving. Star Wars?
Reggie hit the brakes on that one. Reggie trying to sneak in there. He's trying to veto power over there. DiGiorno just decided to have a little Twitter sneak diss at Papa John's. You want to hear about it? Keep moving, hit the brakes.
Hit the brakes.
You know about DiGiorno pizza?
I do.
What's DiGiorno pizza?
Basically a microwave.
Microwave is different.
Oven.
DiGiorno pizza it's like a, correct me if I'm wrong about this, it's not a frozen pizza, it's just the pizza dough.
Correct.
And then you put the toppings on and then you put it in the oven and cook it yourself.
You got to put it in a
Someone tell me, does it come with the toppings on it or not? No. Toppings are on the DiGiorno pizza. Yep. So it's just a frozen pizza?
Yeah, you put it in the oven or you put it in the microwave.
Oh,
That's
I
what
rock with
saying.
Mama Celeste and Mama Celeste only. Mama Celeste Deluxe Pizza. That's how I had like 3 a week. Family size.
I rock with Pizza Popolis.
No, Mama Celeste will take out Pizza Popolis.
Stop it.
That seafood pizza was all right, but it was so heavy, so sliced. This one slice, I had to use 2 hands just to pick the thing up.
Let me order it.
Anyway, DiGiorno Pizza tweets, better pizza, better sales. It's DiGiorno. House rules. Shots.
I like it.
I said, can I just go on a brief tangent?
They're in competition.
Every brand now hires an agency to run their social media, and it works. It makes me like DiGiorno more, but really what it is, it's like some dude in Portland with a bunch of cool tattoos.
Or a young lady.
And I was going to say, and a beard. The young lady probably doesn't have a beard. But like whatever it is, young lady, young dude, just some like 24-year-old like ex-stand-up comedian that's just like firing off some tweets on behalf of DiGiorno, getting them approved by the boss, and getting paid a healthy sum to do so. Once we get canceled, that's what I'll be up to. Yep. Next, Kristaps Porzingis' brother.
Keep it moving.
Oh, okay. Shout out to Giannis Porzingis. I met that dude. I just want to say at Grantland we did a documentary about Kristaps Porzingis before he came in the league. No one really cared. It's a great documentary, though. KD wore a Jake the Snake t-shirt to the Spurs game.
Keep it moving. Jake the Snake Roberts. Who was his girlfriend? Elizabeth.
No, that was Macho Man.
Macho Man.
I can't believe I know that. I don't even watch wrestling. Carmelo Anthony screens obscenities. Why would I lie about watching wrestling, Reg? This is what I always say. If it's on, I enjoy it. If it's on, I enjoy it, and I'll watch it until the commercial comes.
You had to
and then I'm
watch
out.
something because you knew his name.
You think so? You guys think I'm lying about watching wrestling? Really?
Well, you remember somebody's name for 30 years. That's pretty impressive.
I have extremely impressive mental capabilities, as you should know, as someone who does a show with me every day. Man, I want to talk about...
Let's talk about Carmelo. Hit the brakes.
Okay. Carmelo Anthony screams obscenities when he gets rebounds, not because he wants the other team to stay away from him. He's screaming obscenities like, get away from me, bleepity bleep, because his own teammates will steal rebounds from him.
I'm going to tell you why I don't like that. He's officially playing the 4.
Mm-hmm.
And I've talked about how it's going to be a challenge as the season progresses to go against bigger bodies.
Yep.
One of the things I don't like, that takes too much energy.
Screaming?
To do that every time takes too much energy.
Oh. Huh.
It takes way too much energy.
I don't like it because I don't like being cursed at.
And I don't curse, so you know I don't like that part either.
Yeah. You're the worst, Reggie. So, you can call us at 985-80-JALEN and leave us a voicemail, and we'll play it on the show just like this.
What up, though? This is Big Hurt from Richmond, California, and they only call me Big Hurt because I used to be hacking back in high school. Anyways, shout out to Barron, shout out to Reg. I got 2 questions. Actually, 3. Jalen, are do-rags cultural? Because I'm Latino, but I like to wear a do-rag because it keeps my hair laid down. Also, I like to tuck my flap in, just like you, Jalen, but I'm curious, how long is your do-rag flap? Because I know you said you were scared you're going to choke, but the do-rag flap's only like 5 inches long, maybe 6. Second thing, since Captain America got a statue outside the Barclays Center, when do you think Axel Foley's going to get a statue in Detroit? He's a legend out there, ain't he? Axel Foley, what do you think? Let me know.
Big Hurt.
What up, though, Big Hurt? Thank you for reaching out. That is a cold nickname.
Big Hurt?
A couple of things. A do-rag is not cultural.
No.
It's not. And it's multi-purpose, like you alluded to. Some people want to rock it to try to get waves. Or you could be like Chic Luch, do-rag under my fitted, and I don't even want waves. Tim's be halfway new.
Mm-hmm.
I'm no expert. I've only been rocking it for like 6 months.
I love how you became the do-rag expert. The man who just said he didn't want to get choked by his do-rag flap while he slept is the do-rag expert.
Reg would actually be the better person to answer, but
we can't let him on the show. He's already too famous.
Right, since I'm the person in front of a microphone, what they probably doing is judging by the results.
Mm-hmm.
Like, he must be doing something right.
Exactly.
So, as far as tucking in my flap, it came down to my neck. And I'm a wild sleeper.
You're a wild sleeper?
Yeah.
You move around a lot when you sleep?
Absolutely. And I like to pretzel with wifey. But with that being said, anything that's near my neck makes me uncomfortable.
Okay.
So I tuck it in.
Okay.
You're right about Captain America. That's just a disgrace, by the way.
They moved it. It's not there now. It's in some mall in Brighton Beach or whatever. But
somebody
that's where it deserves.
Show.
Yeah, that's
nobody
what it is,
cared until this program got on.
Yeah, Captain America statue.
We were just with Fab last weekend. We should have asked him about that.
He'd be like, I don't even know who Captain America is.
Axel Foley, Beverly Hills Cop. Those movies were classics. I was just telling someone in the barbershop, you know how all these conversations come up. Top 5 rap groups. Top 5 MCs. We were talking about top comedians.
Oh.
Eddie Murphy got the crown, hands down.
In your opinion?
It's not even close.
In your opinion?
And here's how you judge. Clearly off their ability to entertain you via stand-up and have a classic.
Mitch Hedberg guy.
If you got standard classics.
Sam Kinison.
Of stand-up.
Carrot Top.
And movies. He has a lineage of movies that people forget about, whether it's Trading Places, 48 Hours, Beverly Hills Cop, Coming to America, Life, Nutty Professor.
You got a lot of movies.
He got classics.
A lot of movies.
But he ain't getting no statue in Detroit.
Yeah.
Not going to be able to do it. He rocked the Mumford jacket. He shot a few flicks there. We appreciate the love, but he got to get in line.
Thank you so much for the call, Big Hurt. Shout out to you in Richmond, California. Let's listen to another voicemail.
Jalen and Jacoby, what up, though? My name is Jose. I'm 21, just moved to the Portland area. I listen to you guys every day at work. My first question is, what are realistic expectations for the Blazers this year? We have some real dogs on the team, and I feel like we're always overlooked by the media. So just let me know what what some realistic expectations are for us. And that leads me to my second question. We have some real dogs on the team, and I know Jalen's a dog as well. So what do you guys think is today's NBA comparison to Jalen Rose? Let me know, you guys, and keep giving the people what they want.
Shout out to you, Jose.
No doubt. Just turned 21.
Got a job.
Representing Portland. Listening to us at work. We love that.
Favorite listeners. So he mentioned they had dogs on their team in Portland multiple times. So what do you think he means when he says dogs on the team?
He doesn't mean the Jailblazers version.
Okay. It's not what he means?
He doesn't mean that version, that iteration of the squad.
Okay.
That's probably the first time I ever used that word.
Iteration? You've been hanging out with me.
And so I like the Blazers to be a playoff team. Nurkic, he's a terrific big that can score on the block, that can pass, that can get you boards. And he, as Jose mentioned, is a dog.
Mm-hmm.
The thing I'm about to say now is going to really surprise a lot of people.
What's that?
We talk about top point guards in the game a lot.
Okay.
Dame Lillard,
don't do it.
In the West, has led his team to the playoffs each year he's been in the game. He puts up numbers. He's clutch.
Don't do it.
It's time to start including him in best player in the league conversations.
Ooh.
And you know I don't just like fly-by-night, seat of the pants. Like, this is really calculated. Like, I've been watching this for a while. And am I saying that he has the impact of a Russell Westbrook or a Steph Curry? I think they're on a different level. But that next tier, he's in there. With John Wall, he's in there. And because of that, he allowed somebody like C.J. McCollum to flourish. Normally, sometimes when you get a backcourt mate, they're both slight and built. He allowed him to not only be a 20-point scorer, but to take game-winning shots and opportunities. Terry Stotts draws up plays for C.J. sometime.
Mm-hmm.
And C.J. has come through.
C.J.'s earned it.
Do you realize the intestinal fortitude that Dame must have representing Oakland? That I've made big shots when we had LaMarcus Aldridge. I've come off the top with the loop action and made the three on the left wing. I've done this. You know what time it is, pointing at the watch. So based on those three players, I love their chances not only to make the playoffs, but in the right matchup, they'll make some noise in the first round. Love their squad. The Mama's Boys is their backcourt nickname.
Shout out.
They live with their moms. They both went to school for 4 years, small schools. We love them.
This particular team, when we say happiness is a function of expectations, and the question is what are the realistic expectations, this particular team, more so than others, has a wide window of where they could possibly finish. Like, this is one of the teams that the expectations on the ceiling and the floor of this team are very far from each other. Like, they could be the 10th seed in the West, or they could be the 4th seed in the West, and I wouldn't be particularly surprised in either direction, to be honest.
The ceiling is the roof. Let's make it happen.
Very nice, Reg. I thought about that when he was going there. But then they have those moments where they score 6 points in a quarter.
Yep, they're that team too. That's kind of what I mean.
So I'm with you on that.
Thanks so much for the call. Let's listen to another voicemail.
Hey there, it's Levi out of St. Louis, Pacers fan. I'm just got a question for Jalen. Wondering if the Pacers should trade a draft pick in Thad Young or some other variation of a trade for Eric Bledsoe, regardless of how good they're doing right now. Thanks. Y'all have a good one. Bye.
So hit the brakes.
Okay.
Thank you for the call. Appreciate the love. Appreciate you getting right to the point.
Yeah.
If Indiana can get Eric Bledsoe, by all means do it.
Thad Young in a pick?
All means do it. And here's how you answer that question.
Oladipo's balling for them.
Here's how you answer that question. When you're around your friends and trade opportunities and talks come up, here's what you think about. You say, for a draft pick, and then I would ask you, name me the top players in college right now.
Mm-hmm.
You ain't going to say Ben Simmons.
No. I mean, the season hasn't really started.
That's my point.
Yeah.
You would know who that guy is.
Interesting.
He ain't better than Eric Bledsoe right now, is the answer to the question.
No. And the Pacers, the Pacers are kind of rebuilding, Indiana. So maybe picks are important to them. They do want to get some young players. Eric Bledsoe isn't necessarily a young player, but you know who Eric Bledsoe is. And if you're looking at the Eastern Conference, you're like, we could make a run. You know?
People underestimate how well Indiana did in the trade for Paul George. Mm-hmm. Because a lot of times it's not necessarily who you move, it's how it fits on your squad.
Yes.
And they're playing well without Miles Turner being in there, and he's arguably their best player.
I would say he's their best player. I mean, Lance, obviously.
Sabonis, we
Oladipo's comfy.
Underestimate him. Yeah. And now if they're able to get something going at the point.
Well, let's talk about it. They've got Darren Collison and Corey Joseph. Basically.
Both backups.
Yeah, they're basically Darren Collison and
You're a nice
Corey
guy.
Joseph.
I'll say it for you. They're both backups.
Yeah, and they have managed to keep the boat afloat thus far, but there's holes and it's leaking and they're bailing out water. If you could bring in Eric Bledsoe, you're looking at a team that could win a playoff series.
Not only bring in Eric Bledsoe, and if you have to move Thad Young and a pick, but you move one of the guys I just mentioned.
Yeah. One of the things I've been surprised by, Lance Stevenson not getting that many minutes. I thought this was going to be his year.
You put him out there against LeBron.
I thought this was going to be his year.
First thing he does is what?
Hit him in the man region.
Come on.
I love Lance. That was unintentional. He's going for the ball. One thing we always say, part of giving the people what they want is opening up our 1-800-Flowers Twitter feed. That is at Jalen and Jacoby, and going into our Reddit, reddit.com/r/Jalen and Jacoby, and getting questions from the fans. So earlier this week, you gave a tip for the health of our fans. It sounded like it was mainly for our male audience, and this tip was a little concoction. I don't know if you created it or read about it somewhere. What's in this concoction?
It's not only for males.
Okay.
Seems
like it had some benefits for males.
There are different levels of addiction. For all of those out there that are listening, and every day you wake up and or during the day, if you're having coffee, Nespresso, or tea, whatever it is, you're addicted to it. It's an addiction.
Okay.
So I'm here to give you an alternative to create the same benefits and other benefits that you may not realize come with it.
Okay.
And the concoction is, you may not believe you have this in your refrigerator. I promise you do. Or in the cabinet. It's in your kitchen. I promise. Apple cinnamon vinegar. And I know a lot of people out there that don't cook. Like, apple cider vinegar. You have it in your kitchen. I promise you. Go get the apple cider vinegar out of the cabinet. Dust it off a little bit because y'all haven't picked it up in months. And I know at the bottom it looks nasty. You got to shake it up a little bit. Okay. Now go to your spices and get some ginger and get some cayenne.
Ginger isn't in the spice rack.
Yes, it is.
Okay.
Get the ginger, get the cayenne. At that point, you could put it in anything. You could put it in water. You could put it in ginger ale. Just drink a little cup of it. So I'll give you an amount.
So no, that's a question.
Amounts.
That's a question from
tea.
From Almost Infinity said, how much of Jalen's sex potion should I drink for maximum effect?
Oh, see, he's using it for other reasons.
If you did sort of insinuate that it had benefits.
Correct. So what does caffeine do for you as somebody that I see drinking coffee every single day?
Wakes me up a little bit.
Okay. This wakes you up.
Okay.
Cleans out your insides.
So help Almost Infinity. How much should he drink?
And I'll tell you what. It helps your stamina.
Okay.
So if something not only gives you energy, but boosts your stamina, that's a beautiful thing. You can mix it with tea. You can mix it with water. You can mix it with ginger ale.
Not only did you tell us about this potion this week, but you also gave us a little insight into your bathing habits which are take a bath and then a shower, right?
Correct.
Okay.
So let me quantify this.
It's not the right word.
I always use that wrong.
I know.
When I'm at home, I'm fortunate. I am not getting out of the shower to get into the bath. They're separate.
I know. We've covered this.
But when I'm not at home, I will take a bath, then stand up and take a shower.
So we got a question about that. It's from Yak Yak Yak. Yak 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 wants to know. Soft move or boss move? Using your phone in the bathtub Rev Run style. How many times do you think he dropped his phone in the tub?
Soft move.
Oh, I'm using my phone everywhere I am. What do you stare at the ceiling? What are you doing in the bath then? Reading a newspaper?
Listen to the music.
That's not enough for me. That's not mentally stimulating enough for me.
No, when I'm taking a bath, see, there's a reason why I'm incorporating this into my day. You just said it. It gives me a chance to decompress. There are times in my day I'm going to be without my phone. Period. There will be times in the day.
Okay.
Period. Especially during the week. Oh, man, like about 6, 7 o'clock, you think I'm paying attention to your message. No, I'm not.
Next. This is, like I said earlier in the show, this is going to keep happening, but it's interesting. What do you guys think about LeBron possibly going to the Spurs next year?
He ain't doing that.
Why not?
They're in the West.
You said he was going to the Lakers. They're in the West.
Then he changed his mind.
Where else would he go in the East?
Here's the deal.
Not going back to Miami.
Here's the deal. Playing for the Spurs looks like work because it's dressed in overalls. And players, you see them changing teams, you would think they go want to run with Pop.
Yeah.
You think they want to go run with Kawhi. They don't. Prove me wrong. I ain't seen it happen yet.
Interesting.
It looks like work. It's dressed in overalls.
So this is from Aaron Nelson. You also touched a nerve with your bandwagon fan thing this week. He says, does following players from a certain school in the pros make you a bandwagon fan?
No, it just means y'all went to the same school.
But you had this definition of if you don't root for your hometown team, blah, 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 blah.
I'm friends with Tom Brady, and he went to Michigan. I don't root for the Patriots.
You're friends with Tom Brady?
Yeah, I got him in the text.
Can you text him?
Tell him. Serious. He was emotional. Jacoby's about to shed a tear.
Tell him that we don't believe you. You need more people. just write that. See if he gets the reference. See if he knows what you're talking about. So this is from Jacoby. We don't believe you need more people. You cannot just focus on pliability and save yourself from injury. You do eat strawberries. You do drink alcohol. You do drink caffeine.
But maybe
I know all this about you. You don't sleep in biometric pajamas every night. You don't.
But maybe he gave me the number that the NFL was trying to get.
Yeah, exactly. He gave you like that third phone number. That's the one. You don't got the same one Giselle has. Got a whole different area code than Giselle. He gave you the burner phone number. Next question we have is from Anthony Smith.
Apple cider vinegar, cayenne, ginger, with tea, ginger ale, or water.
That sounds like cooking all of a sudden. That's a lot of ingredients.
Get a little lemon in there too.
From Anthony, who would win a 2-1-2 game of Family Feud? Jalen and Jacoby or Molly and Joey? I'm going Molly and Joey all day.
Me too.
I can only carry you so far. Yeah, they're way smarter than us.
And one of us
so
isn't smart
I don't know
at
what
all.
they're doing with us. Yeah.
I needed Jacoby to carry me. I choked on the first answer.
Next, it's from Boom. Good fella Boom wants to know.
Here comes the boom. Here comes the boom.
How much gray hair must you have before you call it graves instead of waves? I'm 2 strings in. You got the graves going today.
Thank you.
You got the graves. I like that you're letting the graves out. And then in the goatee, you got some graves going on there. The graves are out.
But see, on the tube, when I just get a cut, the graves don't show when I cut it to this length.
Yeah.
And people swear I'm dyeing my hair. I'm like, I just got it cut.
I like how you act like this show's not on television. Lonzo Ball. Familiar with him?
Yes, indeed.
Rookie on the Lakers, might have heard of him.
How much LeVar Ball slander will take place in my presence?
I slander LeVar Ball all the time in your presence, so I don't know why you keep saying that.
I just saw him have a $5 million house.
So let's move on.
He's winning in life.
Well, Lonzo Ball and the Lakers were not winning against the Portland Trail Blazers. Lonzo Ball had 0 points, 3 rebounds, and 4 assists in 28 minutes played. After 8 games, he's got about 7 points. 9 points, 7 rebounds, and 6 assists a game. Not bad, but not great. What do you think of the Lonzo Ball that you are seeing now in the NBA?
I think Lonzo Ball has what it takes to become an NBA veteran and to play in the league a long time. But these sweeping comparisons to Jason Kidd and the Hall of Fame mogul Irvin Magic Johnson predicting his jersey going to be in the Raptors, I don't see that.
Ooh. So we always say happiness is a function of realistic expectations. So what are some expectations that you would put on Lonzo?
My expectations are, at draft night, I do those comparisons. And a lot of times people get in their feelings about them because it's not necessarily a function of getting drafted. People want to say that the person's going to be an all-time great.
Yeah.
And I just don't do that. So I compare Lonzo Ball to Ricky Rubio. People's like, what? Because everybody else was comparing them to Jason Kidd, the vision of Magic Johnson. Haven't seen that in the college game in 20 to 25 years. Ricky Rubio, a really good basketball player. He's versatile offensively, meaning he now can make the three. He can make people around him better. Just made a game-winning shot,
like
scored
Lonzo
30
Ball.
the other night.
Let's take a look. I know it's a small sample size, but let's take a look at just thus far the production of both Rubio and Lonzo through 8 games.
One of the reasons why I compared them was their pace. And they're really good athletes, but they're not explosive. And if you watch both of them play, they're not going to be the kind of players that just finish at the hoop over the top of the defense.
No.
It's almost like they're playing in the park and then they're not really zoomed like you'll see from a John Wall or Russell Westbrook. And again, I think Lonzo is going to have a long career. I stand by what I said, that I just don't think he's going to be the player that he's being hyped to be. When I see Ben Simmons, guess what I say? He's going to be a great player.
When you see Lonzo Ball, you say
he's a franchise player.
He's going to be a good player. He's going to have a decade in the league. He's going to be like Ricky Rubio. Jalen Rose, I want you to take us behind the curtain. Zach LaVine is your guy.
Yes, indeed.
There's certain people in the league that are just your guys. Avery Bradley is one, and Zach LaVine, Gordon Hayward. Like some guys, just I've watched a lot of basketball with you, and you just love. Zach LaVine is one of those guys. Adidas loves him a little bit more than you do, apparently. Adidas just gave Zach LaVine a 4-year, $35 million contract. Those are big numbers for a player that's not playing now and that is most known for performances in the dunk contest. Take us behind the curtain. How does this happen that Zach LaVine gets a $35 million sneaker deal?
It happens 2 ways. Number one, when the relationship is fostered. Usually elite level basketball players in high school, all of a sudden their schools end up getting a shoe sponsor. And that said player ends up going to a college that wears that same shoe.
Oh, that's good. It's coincidence, right? Just so happens it went that way?
And before you know it, when you leave college and you make it to the pros, you're still wearing that same shoe.
So when he was at UCLA, what clothing company outfitted that team?
Probably based on what I just said, Adidas.
It was Adidas. They have just switched to Under Armour, but when Zach LaVine was there, it was Adidas. So you think that this relationship has been fostering over years, and this is a sort of like a make-good sort of a deal?
I think what ends up happening is, and I talked about this scenario with Cam Newton a long time ago. When he was in college, he was required to wear 16 visible Under Armour logos.
He didn't get paid for that, though.
He got paid when he went to the league.
So perhaps this is how it works.
And all of a sudden, you're Zach LaVine. You go from playing in Minnesota, averaging 20 points, winning the dunk contest, showing promise. Now he's playing in a large market in Chicago.
He's not playing yet.
He's going to do work. What did you start this by saying?
He's one of your guys.
He's going to do work. We talk about guys on this show before they become big stars. Like we were screaming about Boogie forever and Greek Freak, and then some guys that fly under the radar like you just mentioned. D'Angelo Russell's one of my guys. This is what I meant to also say. D'Angelo Russell will have a better NBA career than Lonzo Ball.
Ooh. I like it. Jalen Rose, it's Friday. It's the end of Jalen and Jacoby on ESPN Radio. But listen, what you need to do is subscribe to our podcast. You can listen to Jalen and Jacoby, listen to what you missed on the radio show today. It'll come out tonight, and you'll have a dope pod to step to every single day.